A referee in a sports game blows a whistle on foul or illegal play. Hence, employees who expose wrongdoing in private or government enterprise have been called whistleblowers since the early 1970s. Their actions protected by federal and state statutes since the time of the U.S. Civil War.
What a tribute to receive the Rittenhour Truth-Telling Prize as a whistleblower.
These statutes have not, however, much impeded government prosecution of and corporate retaliation against whistleblowers and the journalists who report their disclosures to the public. Occupy Wall Street arose, in large part, because of reporting by WikiLeaks and accused whistleblower Bradley Manning. Legislation abridging First Amendment rights of free speech and peaceable assembly has been enacted since OWS began, and the government has also attacked freedom of the press. The Obama administration has prosecuted several whistleblowers under the Espionage Act, one of the most serious charges that can be leveled against an American. Journalists have been targeted along with whistleblowers on an unprecedented scale. None of this is new. Daniel Ellsberg is a well-known whistleblower who compiled and released the Pentagon Papers and exposed the lies of 3 American administrations to the public about the Vietnam War. Ellsberg was prosecuted under the Espionage Act, but charges were eventually dismissed due to gross government misconduct and illegal evidence gathering. Protections of Americans all, but negated by the Patriot Act and other legislation passed since 9/11. Ellsberg has continued as an activist to this day and is a highly visible supporter of Bradley Manning.
She's a people's martyr and a union martyr.
Karen Silkwood was not as fortunate. Silkwood worked for Kerr McGee, an Oklahoma plant where plutonium pellets for nuclear fuel rods were produced. In 1974, Silkwood became active in a union, discovered major health and safety violations, and testified to the Atomic Energy Commission. She was deliberately contaminated with plutonium by unknowns, decided to go public with documentation of shoddy nuclear industry practices, and was killed in a mysterious auto accident on her way to meet a New York Times reporter. Government and corporate prosecution of whistleblowers and the journalists who aid them has continued over the decades since Silkwood's death. Career federal employees such as Thomas Drake and John Kiriakou exposed warrantless surveillance and torture by the Bush administration. Yet both men have been prosecuted with vigor by the Obama Department of Justice, with special effort made against involved journalists. These loyal servants to the American public are by no means alone, as the American state apparently seeks to negate all aspects of the First Amendment. At least the government pays lip service to the rules of justice. Corporations may play a little dirtier. In the 2 years since the Gulf of Mexico BP oil disaster, at least 10 experts, whistleblowers, and insiders have died under mysterious circumstances, and 3 others have been imprisoned, disappeared, or survived attempted assassination. Whistleblowers are the referees of our systems of governance and business, high-stake games indeed. Consider this. What would we do without them?